Have you ever stopped to consider that the most sophisticated technology you possess is not the device currently in your hand, but rather the biological vessel that allows you to hold it? We often view walking as merely a means of transportation, a mundane way to get from point A to point B. However, this perspective overlooks a profound truth. Walking is a complex dialogue with gravity, a systemic activation that our physiology desperately craves. When we choose to walk, we are not simply moving our legs. We are initiating a cascade of biochemical events that define our very existence. Before we analyze this fascinating internal machinery, I would love to know where in the world you are joining us from today. Please, leave a comment below stating your city and country. It is truly inspiring to see how science connects us across borders. In our modern era, we tend to equate complexity with value. We assume that to improve our health, we require expensive equipment, intricate supplements, or rigorous, punishing routines. Yet the most potent medicine available to us is deceptively simple. It requires no subscription and no batteries. It is the act of placing one foot in front of the other. But let us not mistake simplicity for lack of depth. When you begin a 30-minute walk, you are effectively flipping the master switch on a vast, dormant factory. For the first few minutes, your body transitions from a state of conservation to a state of production. We must understand that our bodies are energy-conserving machines by nature. They prefer to idle to save fuel. Breaking that inertia is a significant biological event. As you stand up and begin to move, your heart rate shifts, not out of panic, but out of necessity, preparing to distribute resources to the furthest reaches of your anatomy. This is not just exercise. It is an awakening. To truly grasp what occurs during these 30 minutes, let us move away from the standard medical textbook descriptions and instead imagine a vast, sprawling metropolis. Your body is this city. The blood vessels are the highways, side streets, and alleyways that ensure supplies reach every single house, every cell. Now imagine that for most of the day, when you are sedentary, this city is in a state of gridlock. The traffic lights are stuck on red, delivery trucks are idling, and essential supplies are not moving efficiently. The city is functioning, but it is sluggish. There is stagnation. When you begin your walk, it is as if a master traffic controller has stepped into the tower. Consider your heart. In a sedentary state, it is like a car engine idling in the driveway, functional but prone to carbon buildup over time. As you walk, the demand for oxygen increases. The heart responds not by panicking, but by becoming a high-performance pump. It pushes blood with deliberate force. This increased pressure is crucial. Why? Because of the sheer physics of your circulatory system. You have miles of blood vessels. When blood flows through them with a bit more vigor, it creates friction against the vessel walls. This friction is not damaging. On the contrary, it is the signal for your arteries to release a gas called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as the city's specialized maintenance crew. It causes the walls of the highways to relax and widen, a process known as vasodilation. Suddenly, the narrow alleyways become boulevards. Traffic flows smoothly. Pressure drops. The delivery trucks carrying oxygen and nutrients can now reach the suburbs, the extremities of your body and the deepest tissues, without delay. Furthermore, the calf muscles in your legs act as a secondary heart. Every time you take a step, that muscle contracts, squeezing the veins and shooting blood back up against gravity to the heart. It is a hydraulic assist system that relieves the burden on your primary engine. Without this assistance, fluid pools in the lower limbs, like water stagnating in a kinked garden hose. Walking unkinks the hose, restoring the flow to a pristine, rushing stream that nourishes the entire garden. As we continue this walk, passing the 15 and 20-minute marks, the impact transcends the mechanical and enters the realm of sophisticated chemistry. Let us look at the management of energy, specifically glucose. In our modern diet, we are often flooded with sugar, fuel that needs a place to go. If the city's warehouses, our muscles and liver, are locked, that sugar stays in the streets, the bloodstream, causing damage to the infrastructure. This is the precursor to diabetes. Walking acts as a master key. It increases the sensitivity of your cells to insulin. Imagine insulin as a doorman who opens the warehouse gates. When you walk, the doorman becomes hyper-efficient, opening the gates wide so the fuel can be stored or used immediately, clearing the streets and protecting the city's infrastructure from the wear and tear of high blood sugar. But the most profound change happens in the headquarters, the brain. We often separate mental health from physical movement, but they are inextricably linked. When the body is in motion, the brain interprets this as a moment of focus and engagement. It releases a protein called BDNF, Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor. Let us visualize BDNF not as a complex chemical, but as a premium fertilizer for a garden. It encourages the growth of new neurons and protects existing ones. It creates fertile ground for new connections to form. This is why many great thinkers throughout history, from Aristotle to Darwin, were avid walkers. They weren't just clearing their heads, they were literally fertilizing their neural networks. Simultaneously, we see a reduction in cortisol, the stress hormone. In our analogy, cortisol is the city's emergency alarm system. It is useful in a crisis, but toxic if it blares continuously. Walking signals to the command center that the threat is manageable. The alarm volume is lowered. The constant buzzing anxiety that permeates modern life begins to dissipate, not because the problems have vanished, but because the biological machinery dealing with them has been optimized. We are effectively flushing out the byproducts of stress, replacing them with endorphins, the body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. It is a chemical reset, a daily maintenance protocol that keeps the mind sharp and the spirit resilient. As we approach the end of our 30-minute window, we must broaden our perspective from the microscopic to the chronological. Why does this simple activity have such a profound impact? The answer lies in our heritage. For hundreds of thousands of years, the human machine was engineered for movement. We were nomads, persistence hunters, gatherers. We did not evolve in chairs. We evolved on the savannah, under the sun, always in motion. When we sit for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, we are living in a manner that is fundamentally at odds with our engineering. We are like high-performance sports cars left to rust in a garage. The tires rot, the battery dies, the fluids degrade. Walking is not merely exercise in the contemporary sense. It is a return to our factory settings. It is a signal to our DNA that we are alive, active, and functioning as intended. Every time you choose to walk, you are fighting against the entropy of a sedentary lifestyle. You are telling your genes that you require strong bones, capable muscles, and a sharp mind. It is a daily investment in your future self. We often look for the fountain of youth in pills and procedures, overlooking the fact that the closest thing we have to an anti-aging elixir is the blood flow generated by a brisk walk. It maintains the telomeres at the ends of our chromosomes, essentially slowing down the cellular clock. Therefore, this knowledge should empower us. It transforms the walk from a chore into a privilege. It is a celebration of what our bodies are capable of. It connects us to the universe through the laws of physics and biology, reminding us that life is motion. Stagnation is the enemy of vitality. By dedicating just a small fraction of your day to this practice, you are honoring the millions of years of evolution that crafted you. It's fascinating to realize how much power lies in such a simple habit. Science doesn't need to be complicated to be profound. Sometimes it just needs to be explained from the right perspective. If this analysis has given you a new appreciation for your own biology, please consider supporting our work. You can do this by subscribing to our channel and sharing the content. This contribution is what sustains our channel and allows us to continue bringing free, high-quality science education to everyone, everywhere. Thank you for your time, and keep moving.